So here we are, the Slang of Ages Podcast, Season 5. And for this episode, we take a look at one of my favorite albums. And this is a relatively recent album. It is the Electric Lady album from Janelle Monae. And it's from 2013. Today, I have two experts, two special guests, and actually two people who are returning to the Slang of Ages podcast. We have Monica Mitchell. Monica, hello. And we have Susan Frazier. Susan, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's good to have you. And this is actually the second appearance for both. Monica, I believe you appeared in season 4, the Joan Armatrading and the Shouting Stage episode.
Yeah.
You did a wonderful vocal on that one of a Joan Armatrading's wonderful songs. And Susan has yet to sing for us. Shame on you, Susan. But you did appear in season 3, I believe, where we talked about something or other. I don't know.
Me and your other sister, Cheryl, talked about our favorite albums at the time, because my list is always changing.
Your favorite albums at the time, and
Great.
Good selection of albums that you and your sister Cheryl had. But today is just you two with a quick look at this 2013 album, The Electric Lady. And I picked this album because I discovered that I have a bunch of Janelle Monae albums, and this is one I particularly love. Also, I got to see her open for Prince on his last tour with a band. So that was in Chicago at United Center. I don't remember what year it was, but I was so impressed with her performance and her songs that I started buying her albums. And this one, actually, all her albums are great, but this is one which really stood out for me. So before we get to this album, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the other albums in her catalog, because she has quite an extensive catalog, including the Art Android, which was 2010. This one was 2013, The Electric Lady. Wonderland Presents, the Ephesus, 2015. Then you had, after that, Dirty Computer, 2018. And after Dirty Computer, you have The Age of Pleasure, which came out a few months ago, 2023. So we're going to start with the great first track, which from The Electric Lady is a soundscape. The song really is one of many interludes that she has in the album. And one of the things that she talked about, and she has really been keen on, is albums all having concepts and themes. And the first few albums, The Electric Lady, the album before that, the Arc Android, and the albums after that, all are part of a cohesive theme, almost like a progressive rock theme in terms of carrying a story forward. She was very conscious of doing that in this album and the subsequent albums. So the first track actually is an electric overture, very similar to what you will hear from people like Stevie Wonder in the 70s. And that track runs a minute and 37 seconds. The next song is one of my favorites, and that is Give 'Em What They Love, which features Prince. And Prince plays a prominent role in this song. So why don't we start with you, Susan? Tell me what you think about this song.
That's one of my favorites as well. And it's just something I just like it. It's Janelle Monae and it's Prince. Now, I didn't know that she opened for him, Preston. I don't remember you ever telling us that you saw her open for him.
Well, I forget things. I'm old.
Yeah, okay. But when I saw this album and saw that he was on there with her, I'm like, oh, she's got major clout to have Prince on the song. And the song is good. I mean, you listen to all the nuances of the song. I just listen to the song just to enjoy it. I think I said that before in your other podcast. I just like the song. And the fact that Prince is on it, I like it even more because I like her. I like her as an artist. And then for him to work with her, you know that's a big deal. So I was just impressed. That's like one of my favorite songs. I have 4 favorite songs of the album. That's definitely one of my favorites. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. It says something about her gravitas that she can get Prince not only to sing on the song, but I think he plays lead guitar in the song as well. And it has a nice slow R&B burn to the song. One thing I should point out before I get to Monica is that typically on the Slang of Ages podcast, I do a track-by-track analysis of the songs of every song on the album, talk about all the musicians, the producers, the engineer, where it was recorded, blah, blah, blah. If I did that on this album, we'd be here for 2 days because there's so many different players, so many different co-producers, executive producers, writers, even though Janelle Monae wrote all the songs. Wrote all the songs. There's a lot here, so I'm not going to do that analysis of every song. Plus, as I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention, there are 19 songs on the album, so we're going to talk about a few of our favorites. So thank you.
But she has some heavy hitters on here as well.
Well, we'll get to the heavy hitters. We just talked about, I think, arguably the biggest heavy hitter, but the next song we'll talk about has a big heavy hitter too. Monica, what do you think about Give Them What They Love?
I like the song. I like the rock and roll feel of it. I like the guitars and it. I don't know, like Janelle Monae was kind of, she always reminded me of like a female version of Miguel. Like I kind of would put those two like in the same category because, Miguel likes the guitars and all of that stuff. But Prince is a legend. So like you say, he wouldn't do an album with somebody who wasn't talented, and her range is all over the place. So, I like Janelle Monae.
Yeah, interesting you mentioned Miguel, and we'll get to him in a second. We'll go to the next song, which I picked from my list, and that is Queen, which features Erykah Badu. And again, another, as Susan mentioned, another heavy hitter. This is also a song which was a single, and QUEEN, I'm going to read this, is an acronym for Queer, Untouchables, Immigrants, Excommunicated, and Negroids. Queer, Untouchable, Immigrants, Excommunicated, and Negroids. And it is a song which really has a social aspect to it. It's a song which expresses her religious and her sexuality, and it is a song which she was very proud of. And she said that the song was inspired by a discussion that she had with Erykah Badu, who of course is the featured guest in this album, and she wanted to make sure that she included the song on the album and talk about her support of the LGBTQ plus community, as well as her support for women, people of color, and Afrofuturism. So interesting song. I am not, and I know we talked about Jose James's album last season, where he had to basically a tribute to Erykah Badu. And I remember being told by some of my relatives that apparently I saw Erykah Badu live, which I do remember vaguely. But this song is another one which I think really moves me, and I like the social message as well. Monica, what do you think of this one? QUEEN.
Well, Erykah Badu, she's a legend too, with the R&B music, and I don't know, this I think this was like the lead single off her album. And I have a rule: I need 3 good singles before I buy an album.
Right. You were kidding me.
No, that makes perfect sense.
That makes no damn sense at all.
What? 3 good singles and pretty much the whole album is great. Right. But this was a good song. It was a nice song to dance to, and like you said, sometimes you listen to her lyrics and they have a deeper meaning,
right?
Talking about social issues, just like I think it was in her, I don't know if it was an EP or something like that, the Metropolis Suite. She had a few songs in there that talked about just LGBT rights and views and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. And thanks for the reminder too. It was actually the first single from the album.
Right.
Susan, what do you think about you?
Like, I'm with Monica. You gotta have 3 good singles, at least 3 good singles. And this is again, one of my favorites. I like the way she brought Erica in because it changed, the tone changed when Erica came in. And then, and then, you know, Janelle, then her rap came in. It was like, wow, that's bad. I like the way that was done.
Yeah, yeah. No, saying that too, that her, when she raps, like, she's good. Like, you know, a good lyricist, you listen to it, or will you preach?
Right. And the way the whole thing, the day just came together. When you listen, because first you listen to it, because you just vibing to it.
Right.
But then if you stop and go back and listen to it, it's like, oh, I see what you're saying.
Deeper meaning.
Deeper meaning. Deeper meaning. Because like you said, you hear first, and you're like, maybe I do like this. Then you decide you like it, and like, that song is bad. And then you really go and listen to what she's saying. It's like,
yeah, it's a message.
It's got a message, right?
It is a wonderful message, but it's also a good song. I mean, the vocals are great, the rap is good, the music is strong and funky. I'm going to go back before we get to the next song, which is going to be Electric Lady. I want to go back to what Monica said, because I can't let this go. 3 singles before you buy an album? How many artists even release singles now?
I don't know, but you know, this is something maybe 10 years ago. Like I discovered a lot of new music through like just listening to TV, like watching Love and Hip Hop, and they would play songs. I'm like, I like that. That's how I found Miguel. 3 of his singles. I'm like, all right, I gotta find, you know, his album, and I was a fan forever. It works.
Okay, well,
it works.
I mean, a lot of artists just don't release singles at all. Some will release maybe 1 or 2, and then to hear singles is kind of hard too, because it depends what platform you're using. But I respect your opinion, Monica.
Well, you know, maybe I have a 2010s way of thinking. Okay, like things have changed since I first came up with that. So
right,
I had to reevaluate.
Some albums, you know, it's like one song's like, oh, then you're hyped about it. Then when you listen to the whole thing, it's like, it's only one song. But some with her on this album, it's more than 3 songs for me. Because you listen to the whole thing, it's like, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. So, but I get what Monica's saying. I'm kind of with it.
I get what you
Don't judge us. Don't judge us.
The whole podcast is about judging. That's what I do on the Slang of Ages podcast. The thing is, and I know we need to move on, but often, if the album doesn't have good, deep tracks, which means tracks which were not released as singles, then it's not a good album. You can have 3 great singles and a crappy album. There you go. I'll let that lie there, and we'll move on to track 4, which is the Electric Lady, which features Solange. And I am not a Solange fan.
What?
I don't really know much about her. I have never listened to her music. And when I think of Solange, all I think about is her in the elevator hitting Jay-Z. That's all.
What?
I'm sorry. Which is why I have experts on this podcast to talk about the song and Solange. And it was the 4th single for the album. Monica, tell me about the song Electric Lady.
Well, first of all, this is probably like maybe one or 2, maybe my top song off of this album. I like to dance to the song. You can't help but dance to this song. Right. And but when I saw the you know, album art for the song, it was like, Solange, what? I like Solange. Solange, like, what was her last album? Not Seat at the Table. What is it? Her Solange's last album. It was great. She had #1 album that year. Her and Beyonce. Solange is good.
Okay, go ahead.
I know I understand she had #1 album. And I'm not a fan. I've never listened to a lot of her stuff.
What?
Now I'm sorry, Monica. I'm just
A Seat at the Table. Her 2016 album. That was incredible album. That you should do that one next.
Okay. A Seat at the Table. So Susie,
I might go listen to it now. I heard it was good. I might go listen to it now. But I like her on this song. I know because she's kind of she's totally different kind of artist from her sister. We know that, but
Yeah.
I like them together on this song because they for one, I know they're good friends. I do know they're good friends, and I knew that before. So on this album, they sound. It took me a while to figure out who was singing.
Yeah, to hear a voice.
Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't tell which one was what, but who was who. But I like them, this song together.
Ooh,
And it's shaking, dancing. Dance.
I am not dancing and I'm not singing the song.
What?
That being said, I think it fits really well on the album, and I do like the song.
Right.
So I will take Monica's suggestion with regard.
You got to reprogram your mind, Preston. You got to, where'd that come from?
Reprogram your
mind.
Yeah.
Spaceship leaves at 10.
Yeah, it's like being at a George Clinton concert. This was the fourth and final single from the album, and it has great psychedelic and soul elements, which really permeate her album. Actually, it's just really kind of retro, but not retro. It's kind of new as well, so it works really well. And of course, we have a rap section, which is of a good rap section. It's like a guitar solo, but it's not outdated. So good song. And thank you, Monica, for the education. I feel smarter just listening to you. We're gonna jump a few songs because there's another interlude, which of course she wrote, musical interlude, which is Good Morning Midnight, and we're going to go to the 6th track, which is Prime Time featuring Miguel. And Miguel is another artist which I was not familiar with for a long time, but somehow
it was me.
Okay, fine. Monica gets credit. You get credit for the internet too, Monica. not the internet, but I mean the band internet. But Monica may have turned me on to. And I think I have every Miguel release. I don't have any on his releases on vinyl.
So everybody, let's give it up for Monica, because if it wasn't for Monica, I would have known about Miguel. There you go. I'm with you.
So thank you for keeping us young, Monica. I feel like I'm
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm old now.
Why don't we talk, Monica? Why don't you start by talking about Primetime?
Of course, Miguel. He was one of my favorite artists. That's why I had to tell you about him. I've been to a concert or two of his, bought all of his albums, like all his videos. And like I said, I feel like I was so happy seeing this collaboration, because I feel like, to me, they're like yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they fit together so well, their styles. I like the guitars, and they're all about, I just love them. This was one of my favorite songs. Yes. Their voices blended well together.
It did. They do.
The harmonies, I don't know, just both of their vocal abilities. I love them.
It's a whole vibe. I know they say that's the hip thing to say, but this album is 10 years old.
Yep.
And they were vibing then. And like Monica said, it goes so well together. It's like, I like that. Prime time. I like this song. It makes me feel good. But like Monica said, they go together so well. But I get what you said, Monica, when you're saying they're kind of alike.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they meshed up really well. So it's a good song. It's a good song.
This song is an example of expert production. It's that blend. It's not overwhelming at all. They do really mesh, both of them. They both contributed to the writing, obviously. A very strong writer, as is Janelle Monae. They had 2 other co-writers. It is a great classic R&B feel, yet it's contemporary. It's a fantastic song. It was also the 3rd song from the album to be released as a single, and was released August 19th, 2013. So almost 10 years ago.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing in itself. But it is a perfect fit. So I think we covered all the singles from the album. Let me check to make sure. No, there's one more we didn't cover. So we're gonna jump from this song featuring Miguel, Prime Time. We're gonna jump to the next song, which was We Were Rock and Roll. And song has no guests on it. But it's a very strong track. So
Yeah.
Monica, what do you think about We Are Rock and Roll?
I love that. Like I like it's up tempo. We were unbreakable. We were like rock and roll. Yeah, like this the beat, and at the end, it's all right. It's all right. It make you want to clap your hands.
It does.
It's all right. It's all right. It's like you want to just, I don't know, like you want to really get into the song. I love this song too.
I wonder why this wasn't a single.
Because they have singles. I mean, it's rare to have 4, 5, 6 singles.
But that was a good song. Like it made you rock. It makes you want to dance. It makes you rock.
It made you want to get up and just.
It made you rock.
Yeah.
So Susan, you ask a difficult question because I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know the answer. Record companies tend to release 2 songs on the old days. Now with streaming, you can release a whole album, but then you have to. But it kind of diffuses the focus. So record decide to release singles to help you focus on certain sounds of the album. You can find the rest of the songs of the album.
It works.
Nowadays, people don't really buy albums; they buy singles. So years ago, maybe, I mean, if this was now, maybe they could have released this and maybe 2 or 3 other songs.
Right.
Songs here.
Some songs, albums, or some stars, when they put out their songs, like you said, it's 1 or 2 I like. And so I put it on Susan's hit list. But this album is on my list, the whole album, the whole entire thing. Because I like the whole thing.
Hence, which is why it's on the Slang of Ages podcast.
Hello.
Otherwise,
it wouldn't be.
If it were 1 or 2 songs, we'd be talking about singles and episode with Joe Williams yelling at me. So yeah. You're exactly right. It is song after song. It's also a great concept. And how she blends concept albums to concept albums too, but it's a concept flowing throughout this album, and every song is good.
Right.
Yeah.
Most songs are great. Even the interludes are good. And we're 30 minutes in this 30-minute podcast. We could spend another day talking about this album, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the next song on my list. The next song is a interlude, which is the Chrome Shop, and then we have Dance Apocalypse. So, Monica, do you remember Dance Apocalypse?
Yeah. Dance and make her dance apocalyptic. Dance and make her dance apocalyptic. Yes, it's still that, this song along with the rest of them kind of fit like the same vibe. Like I don't know, the album gives me kind of an old school feel, but like a dance, like it's still dance, but it stays along with the theme, like you were saying, the Android theme, and just the titles and the things that she says is like it all comes together. But yeah, Dance Apocalypse is just another dance song off this album that I like too. Makes you want to get up and dance.
Yep. Susan?
I'm with Monica. I guess we're all on the same page because, but enough she's dancing. But if you listen to the words, smoking in the girls' room, just listen to the words as they go. But then how it ends, it totally changes the vibe. But it ends. It's a good song. Dance. You want to dance. You do want to dance.
She's telling the story. Just keep it along with the theme again.
Right. Activism thrown in there. She's talking about the end of the world, though.
The end of the world's always a party. It's
that's true.
Like 1999. It's about the end of the world. It's always a party.
She's talking about the end of the world, but you're gonna dance to it. Like it's not gonna be that bad. And is that the one where she says, I might be wrong. When she says it's not a rehearsal. That might be the wrong song.
Well, okay, like wrong. Someone's going to school you. Like Joe Williams will probably write back.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I agree with you both, though. Great, infectious groove.
Right.
Um, Fascinating lyrics. Susan, you talked about the juxtaposition between the ominous death thing of the end of the world while we're partying. And she does it really well. I love the song. And this is the song where, I mean, she really it was the second single from the album. She really relies on no one and no guest. I mean, she doesn't rely on the guest artists. They support her, but she doesn't use any guest artists here, and it works really well.
Right.
It's just fantastic. Another fantastic song on an album chock full of songs, which are great. So I think that covers all of the hits from the album. I picked a few more songs we could chat about. So what about the song Ghetto Woman?
Now, isn't that like a remake of Stevie Wonder's song?
Yes, it is, Monica.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get a
Ding,
gold
ding.
star there.
Millennial.
Oh gosh.
It is. What do you think about it?
Woman. Do, do, do. We had the groove. We had the groove.
Had the groove.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Slow.
Like Gen X. You can answer that.
What you mean?
Go ahead, Gen X.
What you trying to say?
I mean, you're more familiar with
Okay,
Ghetto.
no fighting on the Slang of Ages podcast.
No fighting, just judging.
Just judging. Yeah, it does have the groove.
It has the groove.
has a great 70s vibe, but it's not, I don't think it's retro. I think it's just perfect for this album.
Yeah,
It
I
flows.
don't think it's. What is that? What you mean by Gen X, Monica? It's retro.
I guess what they calling me the late 1990s. So yeah, you're
I just
retro.
think it has a nice groove to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pick two more songs, and I'm going to turn this over to you guys if you have songs you want to pick. So the next one is the song Dorothy Dandridge's Eyes, featuring Esperanza Spalding.
I like this song. I got Esmeralda Spalding. I like this song. I like them together on this song. I just like the song. I don't know. You get into the nuances of it. It's just it's a good song.
She's got Dorothy Dandridge eyes.
It's just like,
It's very chill and relaxing. Like it's a wind down at the end of the album.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right, Monica, because we're in the second side of the album. And it is towards the end. I think it's the 18th track, on which has a great groove to it. Spalding, I don't think she plays on the song at all. She's such a fantastic bassist. She doesn't get the liner notes here.
Oh wow.
You can barely see the background. But yes, I actually have vinyl. But she doesn't play on it, I don't believe.
Wait a minute. Are the words on the vinyl?
No, they're not here. Just
all the credits.
All the credits, and there are a lot of credits for this song. There's some great guitar, and there's one thing I like about this album is it has great electronics, has great programming. Then you throw in the Fender Rhodes sound, which always gets me. You have real guitar, bass, and drums. And this song is a great vehicle for both their voices. So
she's not playing the bass on this album. I mean, on this song.
On this song, no, she's not.
Oh wow! She just used it for her vocals, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't see who's playing.
That's all right.
It's a Moog bass being played by Roman Guillenauthor.
Oh wow!
He just sings.
I really thought she was playing on that. I didn't see. You learn something new every day.
Yes,
because I thought for sure she was playing bass on that.
I didn't know she played the bass.
She's not. Maybe she. Oh my God! She's
Monica.
I'm sorry. I just learned you said learn something new. I was sharing.
Okay, that's true. I'm sorry.
Grammy award-winning acoustic electric bass player. Yeah,
wow,
Monica.
Oh,
sorry. If she ever comes to Keystone, we need to go see her.
I don't know where Keystone is. So.
It's the jazz club here in Baltimore, and I think it had one in Florida, New York, or somewhere.
But I get a chance to see her. I will. Yes. So. Right. Yeah, great song, great use of her Esperanza Spalding. I love her vocals. I love the vocals. So I think, what was that, Susan?
Oh, it's me. She has a unique voice.
Right.
Yes. So I'm going to pick one more track, and I know we're running low on time here. I'm going to pick One Experience, which is the last song on the album. Any thoughts on One Experience?
And that song, she goes like at the top of her range, I think,
Mhm.
just to hit those notes, and she does a good job.
She
She's
does
like,
an excellent job.
there's no way in the world I could do that.
No.
Man.
And
She's
you know what? And it shocked me
yeah.
that I'm like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
you did that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that from her.
Yeah.
We know she can sing, but I just didn't know that was her range.
Hey, that's why album.
That's why it's a good album. You got. I'm sorry. Wait, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm saying you got everything on here. You got some rock and roll. You got funk. You got rock and roll. You got everything in this album. And then for her to do that, it's like, girl, what are you doing?
Little things. High notes.
Yeah, I agree. That's why this album is so great, because she tries to do things which are difficult, but she pulls them off. She's not overshadowed by guest artists, or the guest add something to the album. It is well written, was well produced. I think it was recorded here in Atlanta, at least where I am. And it was produced by her with Chuck Lightning, Roman Guiana Author, and Nate Wonder, recorded by her, and executive produced by her, by Nate Wonder, by Chuck Lightning, and Sean Diddy Combs as well.
Oh,
yeah, because she signed a Bad Boy. Well, I guess at this time I don't know if she still is, but.
And executive producers usually don't have anything to do with the production of the album. Usually they're involved with the money, but still, that's a significant thing, which is why she pulled this album really together really well. And in my opinion, this is my favorite album of hers, but she doesn't have a bad album at all. They're all great.
I agree.
So Susan or Monica, is there any song you want to talk about which we didn't touch on?
Well, I remember saying my favorite song on the album was "Can't Live Without Your Love."
Okay.
I like that song because it's just the groove. It's like it's a love song, but it's just saying, "Baby, don't leave me." But it like just the way she sings. Take my letters, take my photos, take the sun. It's just, I love it. I love that song so much. I will play it over and over and over again. Like I kind of did this morning. Listen to it a few times.
I was listening to it again when I was walking Raleigh this morning. So I think we're all in agreement that this is one good damn album. It's a good album. Good album.
Any song you want to mention?
No, all of my favorites were the ones we talked about.
Oh, we're psychic. I figured it out. We're all on the same
psychic or psycho. Which
No,
one is?
Never.
Well, I do want to say that the interludes on this album were like really good.
Yeah.
They kept along, with the same theme, with the Android theme from like the Metropolis Suite and all that. I became a Janelle Monae fan when MySpace came about. She was the first, artist that I had, music on my MySpace page. So I've been, rocking with her for a long time.
Yeah, MySpace doesn't even exist anymore.
Well, it does.
It exists.
It does. Yeah, really? I just can't remember my password. So.
Oh.
But the interludes in the song and the androids and like just her whole being the fugitive android, I love it. Like the whole storyline and how all of the songs kind of fit on the storyline, and still like she's been using that the android thing for from the beginning. She still keep that theme. I like
so
it.
It's a good thing. It's a good story.
It is.
The whole thing is it's a story.
Yeah.
And that's why you like it and you want to continue to listen to the next song, even with the interludes, because like, oh, wait a minute, it's telling the story.
Yeah.
It's unusual these days to have an artist which carries through with concepts, not to mention concepts album to album. You don't really hear that much in popular music. You don't hear rock, you don't hear that rap, you don't hear that in R&B. So she's doing something which is very rarely done in popular music, period. Very rarely done now. And she's doing it really, really well.
I agree. I totally agree. And honestly, that's what today's music needs. People are more
Oh, you
at
sound pretty
21.
old now.
I don't care.
You're bad music.
I don't
Whippersnapper.
care. I don't care. Because people just want something that people can stitch to their, their TikToks and, their videos. I want to just a good album and good music, not just something that's you don't want to play. I want to play. What's this album? Was it 13 years old?
10 years old.
I'm sorry, 10 years old.
Yeah.
2010, 2023. So we've been rocking this album for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a message they make nowadays. You would not want to hear 10 years from now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like the songs get popular and fizzle out.
Right.
Yep. So I think Susan really said it all. Thank you for that. Monica, anything else you want to add?
No, just a great album. You can dance to it. I mean, a lot of the tracks you can dance to, and even the slow tracks you can kind of groove to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good album. It's a good album. She's very talented. She picked good people to have features on her album with, that compliment her and compliment the album. So it's good overall. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I hope I get a chance to see her again live.
Just shocked I didn't even know what you even saw. You may have told us, but that was probably a while ago. You saw her with Prince. I didn't know you saw her. I'm kind of upset.
It was an Welcome to America tour, which was his last major band tour in America. He did the solo piano tour here in Atlanta, but I didn't see him because I don't really like solo piano. I wish I had. But the Welcome to America tour, and which was kind of in the round with the giant Prince symbol in the middle and the band in the middle. And yeah, she was fantastic.
Wow.
So, thank you both for appearing again on the Slang of Ages podcast.
Thank you for having us.
And I will have you back for another episode of season 5. You know which ones it's going to be. It'll be pretty soon though. But again, I appreciate you both, and I thank you.